Greetings, everyone. As we know, every person always has a father. This especially applies to Sung Jin-Woo. By using the power of the Shadow Monarch, Jin-Woo was able to easily become the strongest hunter in history. No one could stop him, as the monarch's powers were constantly evolving and even allowed him to form his own shadow army. But there was one person tasked with killing Jin-Woo before he could fully unlock all his powers. A person to whom the rulers gave a second chance at life. Before we begin, grab some cookies and tea. This will be interesting. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. So let's begin. That person's name is Sung Il-hwan, the father of Sung Jin-Woo. While Jin-Woo had the powers of a monarch, his father had the powers of a ruler. Il-hwan was one of the first hunters to ever exist. About 10 years ago, when gates started appearing, he quit his normal day job as a firefighter and became a hunter. This shows that Il-hwan always wanted to help people, whether fighting fires or monsters. He was so good at his job that he reached the S-rank level. However, his strength wasn't recognized at the time because the ranking system hadn't yet been created. Nevertheless, he became a hunter because he loved his family more than anything and wanted to protect them from the threats of gates and monsters. 10 years before the main story, Il-hwan was trapped in a dungeon during a raid, leading everyone, including Jin-Woo, to believe he was dead. This loss strengthened Jin-Woo's morals, promising to protect his family in his father's place. He became a hunter to help his sick mother and pay for his sister's education. However, Il-hwan survived. Just before starving to death, he was found by the rulers, who offered him a second chance as one of their 7 vessels. His only mission was to kill the new Shadow Monarch, who would soon awaken. Since he had no other way to return home to his family, he accepted their offer. Il-hwan was sealed until the Shadow Monarch's vessel appeared. This put father and son on completely opposite sides of a war that humanity was never meant to be part of. To understand why Il-hwan was ordered to kill his son, we need to look at the conflict that led to this. It all began when the Absolute Being created the rulers of light and the monarchs of darkness. One side protects the world's order, the other destroys and annihilates. Eventually, the rulers grew tired of the war and believed the Absolute Being orchestrated everything for entertainment. All but one ruler turned on the Absolute Being, Ashborn, who at death's door awakened a monstrous power given to him by the Absolute Being. Becoming the Shadow Monarch, both monarchs and rulers feared him, making him an enemy to all. Eventually, Ashborn went his own way, allowing the rulers to win the war. However, the monarchs had bigger plans, invading and destroying the human world. This forced the rulers to use an artifact to rewind time and grant powers to selected humans so they could prepare for the coming monarch invasion. All this time, it seemed Ashborn had joined the monarchs, but he never had ill intentions toward humanity. He likely wanted humans to grow strong enough to find their place in the universe. Betrayed by his brothers, his father killed, Ashborn couldn't even join the other side because they feared his strength. Imagine being a ruler and seeing the most powerful being in the universe return, looking ready to destroy everything you've tried to protect. Of course, you'd take precautions. That's exactly what the rulers did. After rewinding time and creating gates that spawned hunters, they also gave 7 people the power of rulers, making them vessels for the coming war. These hunters could have become the strongest in the world. One of them was assigned to kill the vessel of Ashborn before he could be awakened. That person was none other than Jin-Woo's father. As we can see, the conflict between father and son has nothing to do with them personally. They still love each other. After Jin-Woo became Ashborn's vessel, Il-hwan was unsealed and appeared in a dungeon in the US. He was met by an A-rank hunter squad who assumed he was a monster and attacked him, but they didn't stand a chance. The Federal Bureau of Hunters arrested him, but due to his poor English, he couldn't explain that he was human. Suspecting he was a monster with human memories, they decided to bring in C-rank hunter Hwang Dong-soo, who spoke Korean. During interrogation, Dong-soo was hostile, which was a fatal mistake. He got punched in the face. Although absent most of the time, Il-hwan is one of the world's strongest people. Let's look at his abilities. Like other hunters, he has immense speed and strength, but as a vessel of the rulers, he's on a much higher level. As mentioned, he made Dong-soo look like an insect. Dong-soo can be compared to Jin-Woo at level 58, right after exiting the Red Gate. At that point, Jin-Woo would have struggled to beat him, yet Il-hwan easily defeats him. Like his son, Il-hwan uses daggers as his primary weapons, showing a fighting style resemblance. Jin-Woo likely mimicked his father's combat style when he became a hunter, looking up to him. Il-hwan's most unique ability is stealth. He can blend into his surroundings, leaving no trace of his presence. Like all ruler vessels, he can use the ruler's authority, a form of telekinesis, and manifestation of the spiritual body. This cloaks the user in golden armor, resembling a ruler. Jin-Woo's version is slightly different due to being Ashborn's vessel, but the rules are the same. We never saw Il-hwan use it, though. Still, it's clear he gave Jin-Woo the best genes possible. This supports Jin-Woo's theory that hunter genes attract monsters. Remember when monsters attacked his sister, Jin-Ah, at her school? He believes it's due to their relation to him and their father, both S-rank hunters. Though Jin-Ah never awakened powers, it's very likely she has dormant abilities similar to her brother and father. After defeating Dong-Su, Il-Hwan warned him never to return to Korea. Then he went after Ashborn's vessel and the monarchs and succeeded. Il-Hwan tracked the Frost Monarch, lured him to the US, and fought him. The battle was so powerful it caused a massive energy explosion. Though the result is unknown, Il-Hwan escaped with minor injuries. He disappears until the Japan crisis, where he learns the new Ashborn vessel is his own son. Il-Hwan is horrified and can't bring himself to kill Jin-Woo. Luckily, at that point in the story, the rulers accept Jin-Woo as an ally and give Il-Hwan a new mission. Instead of killing the Shadow Monarch, he must now protect his son, a mission Il-Hwan gladly accepts. He may not be able to speak to Jin-Woo directly because of the war, but he is more than happy to protect him from the shadows. However, this isn't the end of Il-Hwan's struggles. He becomes the main suspect in the murder of S-rank hunter Christopher Reed, as traces of mana found at the crime scene matched his. This is how Jin-Woo learns his father is alive, shocking him. He wonders whether he will have to fight his own father, but believes Il-Hwan would never harm him. As we know, Il-Hwan didn't. 3 monarchs attacked Reed and killed him. Il-Hwan later arrives to save Jin-Woo, who is critically wounded and surrounded by monarchs. Near death, Jin-Woo fully awakens as the Shadow Monarch. While Jin-Woo is unconscious, the monarchs wreak havoc in South Korea. Il-Hwan intervenes, fighting both the Frost Monarch and the Beast Monarch. He knocks the Frost Monarch back with a single kick and punches the Beast Monarch in the jaw. Despite his strength, the Frost Monarch turns the tide with a powerful blizzard that severs Il-Hwan's left arm. As he prepares to die, Jin-Woo awakens and dispels the storm.
Knowing his son can handle the rest, Il-Hwan flees the battlefield to recover. Sadly, there's no turning back. In his final battle, Il-Hwan used too much power. His human body couldn't handle it and began to fall apart. He accepts his fate. He protected his son and is satisfied with the life he lived. But Jin-Woo isn't ready to let go. In their final moments together, Il-Hwan tells Jin-Woo everything, how he survived and why the rulers chose him. He hugs his son, says he's proud of the man he's become, and apologizes for not being there before fading into light. Il-Hwan's life was full of sorrow. He wanted to live as a father, but had no choice but to become a soldier in a godlike war. The same goes for Jin-Woo and humanity in general. They never asked to be part of this war. They gained nothing but death and destruction from it. Humanity, which just wanted a normal life, became the real victim. Jin-Woo saw it all. He saw the hunters, his friends, his sister, mother, and the woman he loves, especially his father. That's why Jin-Woo used the Holy Grail to reset time, so that no one else but him would face the monarchs. By rewinding time, he ensured everyone he cared about could live a full life. Even after the reset, he was still haunted by the memories he gained as a ruler's vessel. He had to pretend he didn't have them to live a normal life. Il-Hwan asked the rulers to erase his memories of the war because he wanted to see his children grow, live with the woman he loved, and simply live a normal life. There are no more monarchs, no more rulers, no more power, just a simple human life. And on that note, the video ends. If you enjoyed it, there are more solo leveling videos on my channel. Also, like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I'd love to read them. See you in the next video.